So hi everyone, this is Yvette and welcome to yet another episode of my YouTube channel. Today we are doing something a little bit different and we are specifically talking to the resale condo owners. So for resale owners who are taking very long to sell your house, this episode is for you. For resale owners that you have no inquiries at all in the past couple of months, this episode is also for you. For resale owners that you have a lot of viewings but no offers at all, this video is also for you. How do I know that? It's because recently I came across this CNA article that specifically mentioned that the transaction volume for resale condo has drastically dropped. So it's not that nobody is buying, because on the other spectrum, on the other side of things, right, you see so many new launches selling like hotcakes. We have Penrith, we have Sky at Holland. All these new launches are selling 80 to 90% on launch day itself. So why is that so? Because right now in today's market, a lot of the demand is shifting towards the new launch rather than the resale. This is not because buyers buy due to hype. This is precisely why I made this episode, so that I can explain why people are choosing new launches over resale in today's market. And the key reason of that change, right, is due to harmonization. So what is harmonization? In this 1 or 2 years, URA actually made this new ruling whereby you can no longer take the aircon latch area as part of your floor area per unit. So thereby on paper, right, compared to last time, thereby on paper the floor area is significantly smaller due to the aircon latch and etc. So by now I believe most of you will have already been familiar with this term because it has been on the market for some time. So this harmonization has actually shifted buyers' behaviour. Before we dive into this behavioral change, right, please feel free to like, share and subscribe to my channel. And if you have questions on your property or how the market is moving forward in 2026, feel free to scan the QR code and drop me a WhatsApp and we can connect more from there. So how has harmonization caused a shift in buyers' behavior today? There are two main reasons. First of which, right, is that buyers today are very smart. Buyers are very savvy now. They have learned to compare homes by the usable space. So such that they are a bit more sensitive into excessive area that you cannot use, that are wasted space, such as your bay window, your large balcony, your planter box, or even your aircon latch, etc. When I hold viewings nowadays, right, there was even one buyer that told me, hey, this foyer area, how come like so long or like so like angle at the corner? Isn't that wasted space? Yeah, so being on the ground, there are such feedback like this. So for example, in the photos below, you can see the excessive bay windows, such as over here. We see a lot in the condos that are built between 2013 to 2015, all across your bedrooms, your living rooms, some even in the toilets. Or even you have narrow planter boxes that you can't even put an outdoor table set. The most you can use it for is really for plants, as the name calls it, or to hang your clothes. Or even, right, we have back then aircon latch as large as a bus. So jokes aside, right, if you are a owner holding a unit with all these pre-harmonization traits, right, whichever that it is, right, you do have to be a bit more wary, because buyers these days, right, they do prefer a more efficient layout. They are aware as to how much of it is usable, how much of it is wasted, and thereby they are a bit more sensitive as to what they are actually paying for. Other than the layout efficiency, right, the second reason is that new launches these days are significantly, or rather, the word here is psychologically cheaper in today's context. Although the per square foot is higher, with the smaller floor area, can I say that the overall quantum or the wholesale value is more affordable, which thereby translates to a lower down payment or even a lower monthly installment as well. So here I have an example. On the left side, I have Sterling Residences that is a pre-harmonized project. Then on the right side, I have Penrith that is a post-harmonized project, just launched in 2025, not yet completed. So you'll notice that for both projects, you have your floor area the same at 786 square feet. So earlier we mentioned that the buyer behavior shifted mainly because of two reasons. Firstly was due to usable space, the functionality of the layout. Secondly is also that it is psychologically cheaper. So I want to bring your attention to the space that we have over here. When I zoom in for you for Sterling, right, what we notice is the balcony is significantly bigger as it stretches all the way from the living to the master bedroom. Then also at the same time you notice that while you have a study, in a way that this cannot be converted to a third bedroom as well, because your bathroom door is here, you'll essentially be blocking the space and cannot fit a bed inside. I mean, you can of course opt to take away this study room wall to convert into a bigger bedroom, but then again it is still essentially a 2-bed 2-bath. Then also at the same time your kitchen is tucked away in this corner. Your bathrooms also have no windows, kitchen no windows as well, which means your space or your unit overall, right, it can feel quite dark without that natural ventilation, without that natural light as well. Then your kitchen, because there's no window at the side, given this layout, it's also not possible to fully enclose it either. Because of how the space is being laid out, right, you notice that your dining can only maximum fit about a 4-seater. Even if your friend, the one who's sitting here, even if they were to move their chair backwards, the fact is that your other family member, your other visitor may find it a bit hard to access the common bathroom when they do have to go. So that being said, right, as a standalone unit is not too bad. A 786 square feet for a 2-bedroom plus study. Then after that, right, now we look at Penrith. For 786 square feet for a 3-bedroom, you might think that, is it too small? How do you fit a proper 3-bedroom? Is it even livable? Let's look at the details. So over here you see the common bedrooms at 8 square meters, very comparable to the one at Sterling at 8.4 square meters. Then you have your master bedroom and bath at 17 square meters compared to Sterling's one at 14.2 square meters. Then we move on to the living area at 26 meters compared to 28.4 square meters, a little bit smaller, but honestly I don't think it makes a very significant difference. But what I want to bring your attention to is that this 786 square feet, all bedrooms are able to fit a queen size bed because they are minimally at 8 square meters. But yet at the same time, right, your bathrooms and your kitchen have windows, which means your unit will be naturally ventilated and it will be quite well lit as well. And because of how the space is being laid out, you are able to fit a 6-seater dining table and also at the same time a 3-seater sofa. So on paper it may seem very small, a 786 square feet for 3 bedrooms, but honestly when we break it down over here, you can see that this layout is actually quite functional, quite livable for especially for our own stay family in this area. So in terms of usable space, I would say Penrith wins hands down. So if I were to give you a budget of 2 million today, which would you choose? Will you choose a Sterling Residences Resale 2-bedroom plus study, or will you choose a Penrith 3-bedroom given the same size, given the same price? I think psychologically, most buyers will go for the 3-bedroom. So here we look at another example. On the left hand side, I have Orwell Hill Residences, which is a pre-harmonized resale project, and on the right side, I have River Green, which is a post-harmonized new launch condo. Both projects are 2-bed 2-bath. Then now we zoom in into the layout usable space. So over here for Orwell Hill, the master bed and bath at 17 square meters, whereas for River Green is at 15 square meters. Then for the common bedroom, you have 8.4, here you have 8, as well as the living area here is 24 square meters. Here everything adds up actually is about 23.9 square meters. So you can see over here in terms of layout efficiency, both are actually very, very comparable. But however, what you may not notice is that River Green's size is significantly smaller at 603 square feet, whereas Orwell Hill Residences is at 657 square feet. So with a smaller floor area, that could translate to a lower price quantum. And here, let's take a look. So for urban residences in the resale market today, you can see that right now it has already transacted, it has already been sold at about 1.9 to 2 million range. Whereas for River Green, it started as low as 1.6 million for the 2-bed, 2-bath. Even for the bulk of buyers, right, that entered at 1.6, 1.7, even at 1.8 million, right, that is still at least 200,000 cheaper than Irwell Hill Residences, what people are buying now at this moment, which is a resale project. So can you see on here that with the same functionality, with the same usable space, right, but at a much cheaper quantum, which would buyer choose? So resale owners today, can you see why more and more people are gearing more towards the new launch? It's not so much about hype anymore. It's more about the usability of space as well as the price quantum. Given me as a buyer in the same situation, right, honestly, I will also go for a new launch. So with all that being said, right, am I saying that all pre-harmonized projects are not good? The answer is no. It pretty much depends on your usability of space as well as price quantum. So here I have an example to share with you. But before we do that, if you are a resale owner today and you are curious as to whether this has a positive or negative impact on your property, please feel free to reach out to me via WhatsApp. Or feel free to share this video to your friends who have difficulty in selling their house, and I'm sure that this video will help them to understand better. So I'm just going to take this example at Lentor area. So Lentor area, if you know, it has a lot of supply because it is a new town. In this particular example, I'll be talking about Lentor Modern. It is a pre-harmonized project because it was launched before the new rulings came out, and also at the same time, it was the first plot to be launched in the entire Lentor cluster. As of now, right, you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 projects that has launched, and also a 7th one coming out. So if you are in the area that has so much supply and yours is a pre-harmonized project, based on what I shared earlier, you will be quite concerned. But in this example, I want to share with you that if you bought in at a good price and with a good layout in that area, you do not need to be concerned. So over here on the left, I have Lentor Modern that is pre-harmonized. Then on the right, I have Lentor Central that is a post-harmonized project launched in early 2025. So both of these layouts are both 2-bed, 2-bath plus study/flexi. But here I want to show you that Lentor Modern, a pre-harmonized project, the layout is more superior over here. So for Lentor Modern, right, not only do you have windows for your bathroom, for your kitchen, you also have window for your study/flexi area. You may ask, window, what's the difference? So basically windows, right, it does allow for natural ventilation. It also allows for light to come in such that you don't have to keep your lights on and off all the time when you do enter those areas. But I would say also, especially for the study area, it may come across as visually bigger even though it may be of the similar size. So why would this matter, and why would this make Lentor Modern more superior? So basically majority of the 2-bedrooms in Lentor area, right, do not have this. So with this pointer as an advantage, it will definitely stand out among the rest. Then when we look at the rest of the usable space, right, they are actually very similar. For Lentor Modern, you see the common bedroom at 8.7 square meters. Then you have Lentor Central at 9. Then for the master bedroom and bath at 16.2 square meters, whereas for Lentor Central it's about 17. So you see not much of a difference. Then for the living and the dining area at 19.3 versus 27. So over here, it might seem like, Lentor Central bigger, but because of how the space is being laid out, you'll notice that you only have space for here as the dining, or at most maybe you put the dining over here, which then again you cannot put it too big either. Neither can you put as a long one, because at that point of time then you'll be blocking your bedroom door, you'll be blocking basically all parts of your house. Whereas for Lentor Modern, you are able to comfortably fit in a 6-seater dining set over here. Then also at the same time, what I realized is that the TV wall is slightly longer as well. So if I'm an owner at Lentor Modern, a pre-harmonized project in an area with so much supply, I wouldn't be very concerned because my layout is way more superior. But of course, again, at the same time, other than layout, price is also another factor. So over here we can see for Lentor Modern, the average sold for a 2-bed 2-bath at 732 square feet range from about 1.4 plus to 1.8 million, which brings the average to be about 1.6, 1.7 range, right? Whereas we see at Lentor Central, for the same 2-bed 2-bath plus study/flexi at 797 square feet, because the size is bigger, thereby translates to a higher price quantum as well, starting from 1.6 plus all the way to past $1.9 million. So if you are holding on to a property like Lentor Modern, even though you are in an area that is heavily oversupplied and you are a pre-harmonized project, you do not have to be concerned because you have a damn good layout, and also at the same time you got it at a damn good price point. So if you are a resale owner today, please use this matrix to assess your own property. So in summary today, if you own a unit whereby there is a lot of new and upcoming harmonized projects in the area, you do need to be alert. However, that does not mean that you have to sell. Because as I mentioned earlier, harmonization will only impact you in a bad way if your layout is not good and you bought it at a not good price point. However, if you are a pre-harmonized project and you got a good layout and you got it at a solid price, you do not have to be concerned. But at the end of the day, you do have to ask yourself these two questions. Number one, is my layout competitive? That is the first question. And secondly, is my price point realistic? Is my pricing better than the new supply? If both your answers to the questions above are yes, then you do not have to fear competition. But however, if both your answers are no, then that is precisely why your resale is taking really long to sell. But that being said, if you're not looking to sell yet, but however you are concerned as to how this may impact the price of your current property and how to plan your next step forward, please do not hesitate to contact me via the contact methods below. And that's all, I'll end my episode here. Thank you!